Hi, welcome to a 50-minute Vinyasa flow practice. My name's Kailey. I have Milo here co-teaching or causing interference more likely. But we'll have a great practice anyways. Grab a seat. Any way that you can get comfy is perfect. And if sitting in a seated posture doesn't feel like a good place to kind of settle in for your practice today, feel free to lie on your back or lie on your belly, or even to stand. Sometimes standing up can feel kind of grounding for some folks. When you find your opening shape for this practice, just take a couple breaths. Let the eyes soften. Whether you keep the eyes open or let them close down, you relax the little muscles around the eyes and the space right between the eyes, that brow center area. You are seated, go ahead and rest your hands somewhere in your lap that feels comfortable. Get a bit of length in your spine. Maybe shift into your seat. And we're just going to take a couple slower, more mindful breaths here. Follow the breath real closely. So that's the mindfulness component, being really curious about the breath. Ready, join me breathing in through your nose, just following that breath as it moves into your body. Pausing at the end of your in-breath. And when you're ready, exhale and follow the breath as it moves back out, as it makes its way back up and through. Do that again. So breathing in, slow inhale, notice the path that the breath takes. If there's places where it just naturally flows, or pools or areas where there's some resistance, pause. And then long breath out, just tracking that exhale with your mind. Take 2 more cycles of breath here like that on your own. Last nice long cycle of breath. This time as you exhale, maybe open your mouth. Maybe you can find a little more ease in the body, the shoulders, and the jaw. And we'll hang out in meditation just for another few moments. It's a great place at the beginning of your practice just to consider what's happening for you in your life right now and what you might need from this time on your mat based on whatever's going on for you. So what's current for you. You could be going through some challenging stuff right now. You might need an opportunity to kind of remind yourself of how strong you are to get through whatever it is that you're going through. So you can take this opportunity really to meet the challenge of this practice with your strength. You might also be going through something that's just completely draining your energy, right? And this might be an opportunity while you're on your mat to remind yourself that you have permission to find some more ease, that you have permission to take rest. And this time on your mat just might be a break from everything else, an opportunity to get a little bit more clarity, a little bit more presence, just feel a little bit more grounded in your body for the rest of the day forward. Whatever it is, just claiming it for yourself here, letting it be an intention for your practice. Bring the hands to the heart space. Take a cleansing breath here together. Really big inhale, breathe in through the nose, let the belly fill, let the ribs expand and lift up. Pause at the top of the breath, so in just a little bit more air. And then offer it up, open mouth, exhale. Blink the eyes open. Bring your right hand down by your right hip. Stretch the left arm up and over. We're just going to start to move. Bring the left hand down and the right arm up and over. Taking it side to side. Maybe if you were like working on a scale of 0 to 100, you would be at about a 40 to 60% effort here. So kind of back off a little bit if you dove in real aggressive right into that 100%. See if you can let the body warm up. Breathe into the side stretch. Press the floor away with whatever hand is down, so you're not totally dumping into the bottom set of your ribs. Keep the right hand down the next time you've got it there. Big stretch through the right side body. And then you're gonna bring your right hand to your, oh my gosh, right hand down, left arm up. We'll get right back on track here. Left hand, right knee, back stroke your right arm back behind you. Feel free to bend the elbows. So I'll show you what I mean. If you have anything funky going on in the shoulder, bend your elbow here for your twist. If not, you might stretch that arm back behind you in space. Long breath in. Long breath out. Bring your right hand to your left knee. So you've got your arms crossed, and then round your chin toward your chest. A little bit of a cat back happening here. Breathing into the back side of the lungs, opening the back of the ribs. I'm going to take it into a little bit of a cow back. Inhale, elbows go wide. Lift the chest, lift the chin, finding that arch in the spine. Right, left hand down, right arm up. Let's see how this goes. Take a deep breath in. Right hand, left knee. Exhale, bring that left arm back for your twist. Bending at the elbow to give the shoulder a little bit of space. Breathe in. Breathe out. Look forward on the inhale. Left hand, right knee, round the spine. Another cat back here. This time, work your way to cow on your hands and your knees. Take your time to get there. You don't have to come right into cow. That wouldn't feel great in my body. But set up with your shoulders over your wrists, your knees under your hips. And then when you're ready, little cow, tilt the tail up, lift the chin up, take a long breath in. Press the mat away as you exhale and round it into a cat. Two more here, warming up the spine. Inhale, find cow. Imagine the heels of the hands pull toward the knees. Exhale as you take it into cat, pushing the hands down and away. Last time, breathe in. Long breath out. Keep the hands down, lift the right leg back behind you, and then go ahead and lift it pretty high. You can flex the foot or point the foot, whatever feels good, but turn your right hip down. Bend the knee if you need. Reach the left arm forward, finding a back bend and some balance. Press down into the base of the right thumb. Breathe in. We're going to round the back, elbow to knee underneath your body. Two more times. Inhale, find that variation of a back bend. Exhale, elbow to knee. So a little variation of bird dog. One more. Breathe in. Breathe it out. Take everything straight and long. So bringing those limbs parallel to the mat underneath you. Inhale here. Left hand comes down. Right foot comes down, side plank variation with the right arm up. Make some circles with that right arm or shoulder. Nice deep breaths here, staying long in your spine, and then switch the direction of those arm circles that you're making. Just noticing how that right shoulder joint is moving today. Right arm goes long as you breathe in. Right elbow, right knees. Curl it in, a little bit more of that cat. Take the limbs long on your inhale, root down into your left knee and your right foot. We're going to come up into gate pose. So left arm lifts straight up to start, and then maybe you slide the right hand down the right leg, finding a side stretch. Relax to the neck and the jaw. One more long inhale. Cartwheel your hands to the top of the mat, high push-up position. So coming right into something pretty fiery here. Press the mat away with your hands. I'm going to add on a bit. You're going to walk the right foot forward so that the right knee bends and hovers underneath the right hip, but don't set the knee down. And then do the same thing with the left leg. Walk the right foot back to plank, walk the left foot back to plank. And then switch, walk the knee under the hip to a hover, walk the foot back out to your plank. Side to side. It's not about speed here. It's about finding activation in your core, your arms, your chest. For 3, we're going to meet up in cow in 2 and 1. Knees underneath hips. Big inhale as you arch your spine. Cat pose on the exhale. Come through neutral. This time we'll kick the left leg back. Bend the knee. Squeeze the glutes a bit, and then reach your right arm forward. Finding your spinal balance on this side with some extension in the spine. Breathe in. Right elbow, left knee 3 times under the body. Zero rush here. So you might be closer to 80 to 90, maybe 100% effort at this point. Maybe back it off if you're all the way at 100. A little note for myself as well. Take everything long, find that parallel alignment, press the floor away. Imagine that you could lift the abdominals up into the back of the pelvis. And then right hand down, side plank variation on this side. Left arm circles. Nice deep breaths here. So much of a vinyasa practice, go ahead and switch the direction of those circles, is this kind of alternating of effort, really intense effort, and then these moments that are a little bit easier. We want to kind of meet both of those sides of that equation. Take everything long, root down through your bottom knee and your back foot, come up into your gate pose. Start by lengthening up through that right side body and then taking it into your side bend. Big deep breaths in through the nose, out through the nose. Finish an inhale. Circle your hands to the top of the mat. High push up to low push up, taking it half or all the way down. Into cobra or upward facing dog. Pause at the top of your back bend. Look from shoulder to shoulder. So you might be in up dog where I just was, or in cobra. Downward facing dog. Take your time to get there. Nice big bend in the knees when you do. Find some length in the spine. Check in with the head and the neck. You give your head a gentle shake or a little nod here. And then start to kick the heels down toward the mat. It really, truly does not matter if they reach. Just find a stretch in the back of the legs. Look forward toward your thumbs. Walk your feet up to the top of the mat for ragdoll. So leave some space between the feet. Another generous bend into your knees. Let the belly rest between the thighs. So separate your feet as wide as you need. Touch the crooks of the opposite elbow. Breathe. Maybe find a little sway. Shifting weight from foot to foot. Release the fingers down, adjust the spacing between your feet so you feel steady, maybe about hips to shins, maybe all the way together. Palms to shins, find a halfway stretch and lengthen the spine, crown of the head forward on an inhale. Catch the calves as you exhale into an active forward fold. Go all the way up to stand. There's no rush to get there, but reach the arms up at the top, root down into your feet. Bring your hands to your heart. Reach up on an inhale, Surya Namaskar A. Fold forward on your exhale. Nice and slow the first time. Halfway stretch, breathe in. Plant the hands, step back, high push up to low push up. Finish your exhale at the bottom. Up dog or cobra, imagine pulling the hands back toward the toes. Downward facing dog. As you exhale, you're pushing the palms not just down, but also forward. Stay here, take a breath or two, shake it out again. So we'll take a couple more of these sun salutations. If you have a rhythm that feels good to you that's different than me, trust your own rhythm. You don't have to stay in sync with me. Lift the heels, look forward when you're ready. On empty lunge, step your feet to the top of your mat. Halfway stretch, breathe in. Hold forward and breathe out. Finish the inhale at the top of your stretch. Reach, reach, reach. And hands to your heart as you exhale. Stretch it up, maybe challenge your balance, onto your toes. Forward fold as you empty. Halfway lift, breathe in. High push up to low push up, breathe out. Stay connected to your breath, find your back bend on an inhale. Down dog on the exhale, hold the breath out. Step, walk, or hop to the top of your mat. Last time through like this. Halfway lift, breathe in. Fold forward and breathe out. Rise with the inhale, palms face or touch. Hands find your heart on the exhale. Reach up as you breathe in, come to the toes if you want that challenge. Fold forward as you breathe out. Halfway lift, inhale. Flow through your vinyasa. We'll meet in downward facing dog. When you land in your down dog, set your eyes to one spot, maybe your toes, maybe your knees, maybe your navel. You're setting that drishti, that focal point, not from a space of like rigidity or intense like self-control, so much as a space of self-care, a space where you're practicing managing your own energy here, where you're containing your own energy so that you can use it skillfully. Bring your right leg back behind you, three-legged dog. Bend the right knee externally open through that hip, and then make some circles with your right knee. Bring your awareness to the top of the right thigh where it inserts into the hip socket. Just feel into that space as if you could create some more space there. Switch the direction of those circles. Three-legged dog, take a breath in. Right foot between the thumbs as you exhale, shift the weight into the right foot, find standing split. So left leg's gonna come up. Does not matter how high that leg lifts. In fact, sometimes I think about this practice and there's like really no wrong way to do yoga except for if you're causing harm. So if you're practicing in a way that's causing yourself harm, right? For me to kick that left leg way sky high would be really risky for my left hamstring. So I'm not going to do it. I can stay here and get a ton of benefit. And the yoga practice is just as valid, if not more valid. Find a Shiva squat. Bring your left knee to your right calf. So that's any kind of variation that your body is communicating with you that it needs. Always want to honor that. Take it back to standing split as you breathe in. We're going to step the left foot way to the back of the mat and come up into a warrior one. So pivot onto the left heel, reach the arms up over your head. Couple cycles of breath here to feel into your feet, to root down into the base of the right big toe and the right heel. Bend the elbows, kind of cactus the elbows, squeeze the left butt cheek, lift the chest. Interlace your hands back behind you, take a breath in. And then tilt forward, shift the weight forward, lift the left heel. We're taking it into airplane with a bind. Soft bend your right knee to protect that joint space and keep that communication from the ground, moving all the way up your leg. A long breath in. Steady here as you breathe out. We're going to take it to reverse warrior. Big step with the left foot to the back of the mat. Reach the right arm up and open. Keep anchoring into your lunge. Option if you need more today to lift and lower through the right heel. We're stretching into a different part of the back of the right lower leg, or part of the calf here, by lifting and lowering that heel. Last big breath in. Cartwheel your hands, step that right foot back and flow through your vinyasa. Keeping it simple this first time through. Landing in downward facing dog, that together on the left. So left leg lifts, bend the knee, externally open the hip. And then play around with those big knee circles here. Keep breathing into the sensation in the body. See if you can push into your left hand as much, if not more, than your right. Switch the direction of those circles. Kick the leg back on an inhale. Step between your thumbs as you exhale, standing split. Right leg comes up. Kind of testing the waters on this side. Where can you find that nice big benefit to your mobility and your stability, your muscular engagement where you're not risking anything? Right knee, left calf. So big bend into the knees here, digging your left heel down. And back to standing splits as you breathe in. And then set up warrior one. Big step with the right foot to the back. Rise it up, chest and arms lift. Couple breaths to settle in, to find that base where you can push the floor down with your feet. Cactus the arms, keep the right glutes engaged as you pull the chest through. And then interlace your hands at your lower back. Switch the interlace if you can. So whichever side you naturally went to, whichever pinky you naturally put on top, do the opposite. Probably feel a little funky. Different like neural muscular connections that we're making that way. So just shift the weight forward, tilt the chest forward, right heel spins up, and then airplane with your bind on this side. Turn that right hip going downward, level off through the pelvis. It's fine if it's not totally level, but see if you can avoid having a huge external rotation. It's different than balancing half moon, right? Squaring the rib cage toward the floor, squaring the hips toward the floor. Steady as you can, transition it to reverse warrior. Big bend through that left knee. And anchoring down into the back foot for your lunge. Maybe you lift and lower the left heel. Can you let go of some tension in the neck or the jaw? Redirect that effort into your legs or the side body stretch as you breathe in. Circle the hands to the top, step it back, and then flow back through your vinyasa to downward facing dog. From downward facing dog, clear it out. Big breath in through your nose. Big breath out. Lift the heels, look forward, step, walk, or hop to the top of your mat. Halfway stretch as you breathe in. Fold forward and exhale. Get all the way up on the inhale, big full body stretch here. And then lightning chair as you exhale. Option to lift the heels or keep them down. Reach the arms forward, palms face, the arms are long. Take a breath in. As you exhale, backstroke your right arm, squeeze the legs together. Sink the hips a little bit lower, brush the right fingertips down, stand all the way up, breathe in. Hands to your heart, heels to the mat as you breathe out. Lightning, a regular chair, breath in. Lightning chair as you breathe out. We'll try the other side. Option to lift the heels. Arms come forward, palms touch. Exhale, left arm back strokes. Bend the knees deeper. Inhale, sweep the fingers down and then take it all the way up. Fold forward at the top of your mat. Halfway lift, rebound on the inhale. Chaturanga, step, or maybe you float back to your little push-up. Up dog, finish the stretch here. Breathe in, collarbones broaden. Downward facing dog. We'll put that together. One breath, one motion. Right leg up on an inhale. Step forward as you exhale. Standing splits. This is your breath in. Shiva squat as you breathe out. Dig into your right heel. Back to standing split on an in-breath. Big step to the back for warrior one. Inhale, rise it up. Exhale, bend the elbows, heart pulls through. Interlace your hands, take a breath in, and then fly it forward, bound airplane. Pausing here. I'm gonna reach the arms forward, find warrior three, Virabhadrasana 3, option to bring the hands to the heart. Wrap the strength of your low belly around to the sides of the waist to protect the low back. Make sure that you're at the tiniest hint of the tuck to the tailbone. We're going to take a big step with the ball of the left foot to the back of the mat. Come into a supported crescent lunge. Drop the left knee. Cactus the arms as you breathe in. Hanumanasana, straightening out that right leg just until you feel a meaningful sensation in the back of the right hip or thigh. We'll hold our half split for maybe 3 to 5 cycles of breath. If you know that you love full splits and you want to work your way there, by all means. If you're with me in half split, think about hinging through your hips. So you might even adjust the tilt of the pelvis a bit so that you're not rounding a bunch in the lower back and get into the very top bits of the very end pieces of the hamstring here. Again, soften the muscles around the eyes. So notice how you're using this practice to support yourself in this moment, but maybe also to support some sort of an intention that you're working through in your life off of the mat. One more long breath. Soften a bit through the shoulders and the neck as you exhale. Walk the hands forward, rebending into that front knee. Reach the arms up, reach the back knee up, back into your crescent lunge. As you inhale, prayer twist, bringing your left elbow to the outside of the right thigh. A couple cycles of breath. Find some length in your spine as you breathe in. And then wrap the lungs around the heart as you breathe out, feeling into that twist. Reverse warrior when you're ready. Inhale it up and open, got a little pop in the hip. Cartwheel the hands around the front foot, pause. We're gonna take it into our wild thing. So push the mat away with your hands. Bring your left heel in toward you. And then left heel, oh my goodness, right heel in toward you. Right foot drops back behind you. Inhale, the right arm lifts up. Finding your stretch, finding your back bend, and pushing the mat and the floor away with those 3 points of contact. Breathe in. Right hand down, right knee, right elbow as you breathe out. 2 more wild things. Just for the inhale, you lift up. Right hand down, right knee, right elbow as you exhale. Last one. Breathe in. This time, chaturanga is your breath out, or however you can safely get to downward facing dog. We go on the left leg, inhale, kick it up. Exhale, step it through. Standing splits, breathe in. Knee to calf, dig the left heel down as you breathe out. You get back to your standing splits on your inhale. Set up warrior one base as you exhale, and then lift up, breathe in. Bend the elbows, heart pulls through. Interlace your hands. Start to shift the weight forward, spin the back heel up, and airplane pose. Before you reach the arms for warrior three, bring your awareness into your abdominals and your core. So not just the front side of your core, but also the side waist, the muscles alongside the sacrum. Then maybe you take the arms forward, keeping that integrity in your core. Virabhadrasana 3. We're gonna find a supported crescent with cactus arms. Big step with your right foot to the back, bend the arms, pull the chest through as you inhale, and then half split, or maybe exploring a full split. You've got some time to kind of check in. Come back to the rhythm of your breath, following the inhales, just noticing the path that they take. Following the exhales back out. Might even invite a free part breath again here, inhaling into the belly, the chest, and the collarbones. And exhaling from the collarbones down through the chest to the belly. 3 more breaths. Last deep breath here. Breathe into the sensation of the stretch. As you exhale, see if you can let some tension melt down the body into the earth. Rebend the front knee. Tuck the back toes. We've got crescent lunge here. Lifting strong to the back of the right thigh. And then for your twist to your left. One more big cycle of breath. Stay with the exhale, wrapping the lungs around the heart space, looking over your left shoulder, and then reverse warrior is your inhale. Cartwheel the hands, frame the front foot, and pause. So your chest is probably all the way connected with the left thigh. This is what I was going for on the other side. Press the mat away with your hands. Keep the left thigh and your chest connected. Bring your left heel to your left hip or your left glute. So if you lose that connection, so did I. We're just working core strength. And then when you're ready, pivot it around to your wild thing. So first one we hold, one more breath in. Left hand down, left knee, left elbow, neutral pelvis or a little tuck there. Back to wild thing. Here's where you open up through the pelvis and the hips. Inhale. Knee to elbow as you exhale. Wild thing, breathe in. This time you've got your vinyasa. We'll meet up in downward facing dog. Put that together from the top of the mat, starting with a nice cleansing breath here. Big exhale. Step, walk, or hop your feet to the top. Halfway stretch, rebound, inhale. Fold forward as you exhale. All the way up, full body stretch, breathe into it. Hands to your heart. So we'll take that little reset. Chair pose. Bend the knees, reach the arms forward as you breath in. Lightning chair as you breath out, option to lift the heels. Reach the arms forward, palms together on the inhale. Right arm, backstroke it as you exhale, bend the knees deeper, scoop it down, stand all the way up, breathe in. Hands find your heart, heels to the mat if they were lifted. Back into chair, inhale. Lightning chair, exhale, maybe the heels lift up. Arms forward, palms press together on the in-breath. Backstroke that left arm as you exhale, sit lower, sweep it down, stand all the way up, breathe in. Forward fold this time, drop the heels, drop the head, let it go. Pause and separate your feet to about hips distance. Then I'll give you a couple options, either a big toe bind or bringing the hands all the way underneath the soles of the feet with the palms facing up. So palms connect to the soles of the feet, or grab your peace fingers and loop them underneath your big toes. So either one of those. Bend the knees a bunch so that you can find that connection. Send the hips back, lift the chest forward, breathe in. Keep that connection as you fold forward. 3 deep breaths here. And optional, take a lion's breath if you want. That's your inhale through your nose. As you exhale, stick your tongue out. Try and touch the tip of your chin with the tip of your tongue. One more breath. Release whatever bind you chose. Walk the hands back to that halfway lift position on the shins. Breathe in. Chaturanga, step or float it back. Inhale to your back bend. Downward facing dog. Take the right leg high, breathe in. Right foot steps forward, empty it out. Standing split, left leg lifts on an inhale. Left knee, right calf as you exhale. You get back to your split, breathe in. Big step to the back, setting up warrior one. Finish the inhale as you reach. Bend the elbows, exhale. Right away, fly it forward into airplane with or without that bind. Breathe in. Stay here, soft bend the back knee as you breathe out. Reach forward or bring your hands to your heart on your inhale. Big step with your left foot to the back, bend the left knee, drop it down. Inhale, lift the chest, cactus arms. Exhale, Hanumanasana, straighten out the right leg. Full cycle of breath, softening with that exhale. And back to crescent lunge, inhale, lift up. Prayer twist to your right. You're here for one breath in. And for the breath out, we're going to change it up a bit here. Find star pose. So spin around toward the long side of your mat. Reach the arms straight up or reach them out. Big in breath. Hinge at the hips. Prasarita, find your wide-legged forward fold. Any arm variation that works for you is great for me. If you're not sure where to bring your hands, you can play around with bringing the hands to the outer edges of the ankles, tucking the chin toward the chest so the crown of the head points straight down. And then shrug the shoulders away from the ears. So practice that. It's called retraction. Bringing the shoulders away from the front of the body, more onto the back of the ribs. Away from the ears, more onto the back of the ribs. Slowly unroll out of that forward fold. Reach the arms up over your head. Interlace your fingers, but release the index finger and the thumb so you found Kali Mudra. And then pivot the right toes forward. Keep your Kali Mudra. Find a reverse warrior variation with Kali Mudra. Root down through your left heel. Engage your core. We're going to find a side angle variation. So find a diagonal line of energy from your back leg all the way up through the fingers. Back to reverse warrior, inhale. Side angle variation, so all about your core and your obliques. Reverse warrior, breathe in. Side angle variation, breathe out. One more, inhale. Side angle variation on the exhale, reverse warrior, release that bind. Take a breath in. Circle the hands to the top, take it right into wild thing. Inhale, right toes down, right arm up. 3 times. Exhale, right knee, right elbow. Again, inhale, open. Exhale, right knee, right elbow. There's 2. Inhale it open. Right knee, right elbow for 3. Last time, breathe in. Chaturanga, take your time to flow through your vinyasa. Try and stay connected to your breath, or at least stay aware of your breath. Left side, here we come. Inhale the left leg. Exhale, step. Standing split, breathe in. Shiva squat, breathe out. Find your split on the inhale. Set up warrior 1 on the exhale. Reach up, maybe you look up as you breathe in. Bend the elbows as you breathe out. Right into airplane. Maybe you find a bind, maybe you don't. Either way is fine. From the airplane to warrior 3, or maybe the hands to your heart. Slow motion, right ball of the foot, right knee to the back of the mat. Chest lifts, pull it through as you bend at the elbows and breathe in. Hanumanasana, straightening out that left leg, hinging through your left hip. Full cycle of breath. Soft with that exhale. All the way to crescent lunge. Inhale, strong high crescent. Twist to your left. Take a breath in. Breath out. Star pose. Inhale it open. This time interlace your hands at your lower back. Lift the chest, lift the chin, breathe in. And then hinge at the hips. So send your tailbone back as you start to lean the chest forward. Taking a forward fold, turning the toes in a little bit. Couple cycles of breath. Another great chance to release any tension you might have picked up in the neck or the jaw. You might even open the mouth and move the hinges of the jaw around a bit. Looks silly, but helps a lot if you've got any tension in the masseter muscles or you deal with like TMJ kind of stuff. Don't care about looking silly on your mat. Take your time to unroll up to standing. Arms reach up overhead, interlace your fingers, find your Kali Mudra. Left toes pivot forward, left knee over left toes. Lengthen up and out through the side body. Take your reverse warrior here, keep anchoring in to that lunge. Breathe in. Side angle variation, belly button knits in toward the spine. Reverse warrior on the inhale. Side angle variation, exhale. 2 more with your breath. Last side angle variation. Release Kali Mudra, reverse warrior, inhale. Circle the hands to the top, right into your wild thing. Left foot plants, left arm lifts, breathe in. 3 times, left knee, left elbow, squeeze. Again, inhale, open. Exhale, find your core, pull it in. Inhale. Last elbow to knee, as close as you can get. Take it back to wild thing, breathe in. And then flow through. Pause in up dog this time. So pause in your back bend, up dog or low cobra. Drop the knees wide, bring the big toes together. And then sit back onto your heels. And bring the knees a little closer. Pause for a moment. Rub the palms onto the thighs to get a little bit more sense of kind of grounding and connection. And then let the hands come into stillness, turning the palms to face up. Just following the breath again. So can you follow that path that the breath takes, whether you're breathing through your nose or your mouth, doesn't matter a ton right now, but just notice where the breath is moving easily in your body, and without judgment, notice if there's places where it just feels like the breath is a little restricted, where it can't quite get to. For me, it's like my lower back just feels a little congested. We're not talking literally about the lungs here. We're talking more from that kind of yogic philosophical point of view, where we're talking about prana. We call them these inner winds or these vayus. Can you feel flow, even in places where we don't actually have like the air of our lungs? We might have little bits of oxygen, right, flowing through the bloodstream, getting some energy moving along in the cells. There might be areas, right, where it just feels a little bit more stagnant. See if you can bring your awareness into those places of stagnation in the body. With your inhale, bring your mind into those spaces. As you exhale, there's this opportunity to release some of that tension, let it melt down the body and into the earth. Sitting in that practice for 20 seconds or so here, breathing into areas that feel a little bit tight or tense or stagnant. As you exhale, allowing for some space perhaps to open up. Straining, you find a little bit more length in your spine, a little bit more lift through the chest without tilting the chin up. So keep your nose pointing straight forward, but lift the breastbone toward the chin. Big breath in. Big breath out. Leave the eyes open, interlace your fingers, and then circle out your wrists a bit. Just roll through the wrist. It's not really a right way to do this. Switch the direction of those circles that you're making. You can also bring the forearms forward and just rotate the wrists here if that feels better or more productive. Switch the direction. And then meet me back on your hands and your knees. So we've got a little bit more heat, a little bit more spice to the practice, and then we'll pull it down shortly here. So hands right underneath the shoulders, knees right underneath hips. Find a tiny tuck to the tailbone. It's like microscopic, just enough so that you can pull the abdominals in and then hover the knees up. So we're in our floating tabletop. We did this earlier. Step the feet back to plank and then walk the toes back into your floating table. So alternating, try and keep the ribs and the shoulders totally still. If you can remember, I have a hard time remembering. If you can remember to alternate right, left, right, go for it. Just walking it in and out for 5, for 4, for 3. Meet me standing on your knees with your toes tucked in 2. And then 1. So knees underneath, hips, drop the knees down, keep the toes tucked. Stand back up onto your heels. Bring your hands to your lower back like you're sliding your palms into pockets. And then before you do anything else, pull the elbows just straight back behind you. Point the elbows back. Shoulders come onto the back of the ribs. Squeeze the glutes. You might take it into a deeper back bend here, but keep that engagement in the glutes and keep that retraction and depression through the shoulders. So shoulders are pulling toward the spine and away from the ears. Feel free to stay here or release your hands to your heels. Ujjayi breaths. Forgot to mention you might hear some breakfast making sounds. Last long inhale. And then slowly bring your hands to your heart, sink your hips back to your heels. Keep the toes tucked if that doesn't irritate your feet too much. Just breathe. Notice any residual sensation here. Back bends are really activating, really stimulating usually for the nervous system, right? We're arching that whole central nervous system into extension, which is the opposite of the shape that we have it in most of the day. One more camel pose. Option to trade camel for bridge or sphinx. So if there's another back bend that would serve your body better today, go there. Take 5 to 10 long breaths. So we're not in a rush, which also means choose a variation that feels sustainable for that amount of time. See if you can breathe right into the center of the chest where the ribs are knitting together at the bottom of the breastbone. Last long breath in. And then come back to your seat, seated meditation, or wherever it makes sense to release. So if you are on your back in bridge, you might just lay onto the back with the knees bent. If you were in sphinx, if you're prone on your tummy, you might just lie down and stack the palms with the elbows wide for a pillow for your forehead. Just notice the rebound sensation as your spine finds neutral. As your nervous system comes back to hopefully a little bit more neutral balance here. Maybe back in a kneeling position. Palms are going to plant down right next to the knees. Untuck the toes. Sit back onto your heels for a moment. Walk the hands back just a little bit closer around your spine. A bunch here. Keep the toes untucked so the toenails are down. Lift the knees up toward your chest. Push the floor away with your hands. Lower the knees back down. Do 6 more. Option to lift a toe, a center, or a foot toward your heel as you lift and lower. Just 5, alternating if you're doing those lifts. 4, strong in the shoulders. 3, last 1, lower all the way down, cross your ankles, extend the legs out in front of you. Nice work. You can shake out the legs a little bit, reach the arms up over your head. Maybe keep a bend in the knees. I keep a bend in the knees. It just feels like a way to protect my hamstrings and my low back. And really take good care of our bodies. Breathe in, fold forward as you breathe out. One more cycle of breath. Relax the neck, shoulders, jaw as you exhale and grip a bit. Flex the feet, roll it up to seated, reach the arms forward, engage your core. Keep your feet flexed as you roll it down vertebra by vertebra. Long body stretch, reach the arms back over your head, breathe in, point the toes, squeeze the legs together. Open mouth, exhale, let it go. Hug your right knee into your chest. And T or cactus the left, or the right arm rather, and then guide your right knee to the left for your twist. Let the right shoulder blade stay heavy, even if that means that right knee doesn't go as far into your twist. And stay here with your nose pointing straight up, or nod your chin toward your right shoulder. And then again, just follow the path that your breath is taking through your body. And back to the center. Swap it out, left knee cups in, left arm stretches out to the side in a cactus or a T. Find your spinal twist. When you're ready, you can find Shavasana and take your time to get there. I did mention the breakfast sounds. I find that, like, if I'm listening to something and there's background noise, it doesn't bother me if I know what it is. If I don't know what's going on, I have a really hard time not tuning it out. But as you settle into Shavasana, if you know, like, auditory stimulation is just going to be completely disruptive to your experience, go ahead and shut the video off, or if you're on Zoom with me, log out. The rest of you can hang out here. I'll close practice together in just about 30 or 40 seconds. While you're in Shavasana, completely let go of effort. Scan the body for any pockets where you might still be clenching or gripping. Just send your nervous system the message that it is okay to relax, that relaxing is a skill that at least I need a lot of practice in. And so this is a really great opportunity to develop that skill of, after a stressful event is over, of being able to let go, so that that residue of that effort doesn't have to linger or cling any longer than necessary. Take one more moment just to notice how you feel. Maybe to revisit the intention that you set as you start to bring some movement back into your body. Right, whatever this practice was intending to support you in, really make sure in these last moments of your practice that you're open to receive that support. Zero rush to meet me in a seat, your hands at your heart. Reminding yourself that you did enough, that you are enough, that you are both incredibly strong and very worthy of rest. Sometimes taking a break or resting actually takes more strength than powering through. Close practice together. One last cleansing breath, but drop your arms out to your side with your palms face up. As you inhale, if you can gather up all of that strength and energy and goodwill, stretch, stretch, stretch. And then bring it down into your heart as you exhale. Namaste. Thank you for your practice. Have a beautiful rest of whatever your day has in store for you.
Thank you.